Elvis Aaron Presley was born on January 8, 1935, in Tupelo, Mississippi, during a difficult period of the American economy. He is the only son of Vernon Elvis Presley and Gladys Presley. Elvis' family faced many financial difficulties, and a difficult life affected his childhood. When Elvis was 13 years old, the family moved to Memphis, Tennessee, looking for better opportunities. This is where Elvis began to discover his passion for music. He often listened to recordings by artists such as bluesman B.B. King and country singer Hank Snow. Elvis' musical career began to blossom in 1954, when he recorded a cover version of the song That's All Right at Sun Records under the production of Sam Phillips. This was the first step in his glorious journey, when Elvis became the leading rock and roll star of American music. In 1956, Elvis signed with RCA Victor Records and released Heartbreak Hotel, his first hit, which took him to #1 on the U.S. music charts. From there, Elvis became a cultural phenomenon, with his energetic and sensual performance style, and his influence spread across social classes and ethnic groups. In addition to his musical career, Elvis also participated in the film industry. His first film, Love Me Tender, came out in 1956, and he subsequently participated in many other film projects, establishing himself as a famous star on both stage and television screen. However, Elvis' career also encountered challenges. He is often criticized for being too flamboyant and participating in unsuccessful film projects. This caused part of the 1960s, when Elvis spent more time making films than focusing on music. Elvis Presley died on August 16, 1977 at his home in Memphis, Tennessee, at the age of 42. His passing left a huge void in the music and film industries, but his name and Elvis' legacy still lives on in the hearts of fans around the world. Elvis Presley was not only a music and movie star, but also a cultural icon of the 20th century. His signature performance style, combining vibrant rhythms and sensuality, launched a new wave in the music and film industries. Elvis' personal life also attracted public attention. He married Priscilla Presley in 1967, and they had a daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, in 1968. Although their marriage ended in 1973, the relationship between Elvis and Priscilla remained of interest and scrutiny. Widely. Throughout his life, Elvis suffered from many health problems and used tobacco, alcohol and drugs. His health declined and he became weak in his later years. The loss of Elvis devastated millions of fans around the world, and his death left an unfillable void in music. However, Elvis' legacy is still honored and respected today. Hit songs like Can't Help Falling in Love, Jailhouse Rock and Suspicious Minds continue to be musical greats and are loved around the world. Along with that, Elvis' image and performance style are still a source of inspiration for many modern artists and music fans. Elvis Presley, with his influence on musical and cultural history, will forever be an important part of pop culture's memory and legacy. Elvis Presley left a huge mark not only on the music and film industries but also on popular culture. The richness and diversity of his talents, from his ability to sing beautifully to his ability to perform on stage and screen, made him a great icon of his time. Despite his passing, Elvis' legacy continues to live on and be disciplined. Exhibitions, museums, and tribute events keep his image and music alive in the hearts of fans around the world. More than 40 years after his death, Elvis remains a continuing source of inspiration for young artists and fans. Not only a star, Elvis is also a symbol of development and change in American culture. His combination of diverse music and vibrant performance style opened up a new world for the music and film industries, and created lasting impacts on both society and culture. With all the achievements and influence that Elvis Presley has achieved, it is no surprise that he is still known as the king of rock and roll and one of the greatest artists of all time. He will always be remembered not only for his music and movies, but also for the strong influence he left on the hearts of millions of people around the world. Elvis Presley's health and mental crises became increasingly serious during the last years of his life. After his divorce from Priscilla was finalized in 1973, Elvis' health began to decline significantly. He fell addicted to sedatives and faced many different health problems. In 1973, Elvis was so sedated that he fell into a coma for 3 days in a serious incident. He was hospitalized in late 1973 due to addiction to pethidine, a painkiller. His physician, George C. Nicopolis, noted that Elvis did not feel like a typical addict when receiving medication from his doctor. Although his health was declining, Elvis continued to give more live performances. In 1973, he performed 168 concerts, his busiest schedule ever. However, people around Elvis began to realize that his health condition was gradually becoming more critical. In September 1973, Elvis' condition worsened while he attended a concert at the University of Maryland. He appeared on stage with obvious signs of collapse, and showed signs of excessive use of sedatives. Witnesses described the heartbreaking scene as he fell out of the car, and it was clear he was experiencing serious health problems. During the last years of his life, Elvis did not make any official studio recordings, and his interest in the recording studio waned. However, he still managed to complete a number of musical projects, including recording the album Elvis recorded live on stage in Memphis in 1974. However, this process encountered many difficulties due to his health condition. Elvis is on the decline. Poor health and addiction made Elvis' life and career more difficult. Although he tried to continue performing and recording, his health eventually hindered his creativity and work. During the last months of his life, Elvis Presley went through difficult and painful times. After his relationship with Linda Thompson ended, Elvis began dating Ginger Alden in November 1976 and proposed to her 2 months later. However, his physical and mental condition became extremely weak and deteriorating. Journalist Tony Sherman described Elvis Presley in early 1977 as a caricature of his former energetic and polished self. He became overweight and mentally dull due to using drugs every day. Elvis' final performances were mostly sad, sloppy performances, as he faced health and smoking problems. Even though his health was deteriorating, Elvis still tried to fulfill his performance commitments. However, his fans and those around him began to feel frustrated, and Elvis felt confined to his room, frequently pondering spiritual matters and feeling haunted by his sadness. Anxiety and paranoia. Way Down, Elvis' final single, was released in June 1977. During his final performances, Elvis had moments of tragedy, when his voice became weak, and his emotions became painful. His final concert took place on June 26, 1977 in Indianapolis, and it was a sad end to the great career of one of the biggest stars in music history. On August 16, 1977, Elvis Presley boarded an evening flight from Memphis to Portland, Maine to begin another tour. However, that afternoon, his fiancée Ginger Alden discovered him unresponsive on the bathroom floor of the Graceland mansion. Efforts to revive him failed, and he was pronounced dead at Baptist Memorial Hospital at 3:30 p.m. Elvis Presley passed away at the age of 42. President Jimmy Carter issued a proclamation crediting Presley with permanently changing the face of American popular culture. Thousands of people gathered outside Graceland to watch the coffin be opened. Presley's funeral was held at Graceland, and approximately 80,000 people lined the funeral procession to Forest Hill Cemetery, where Presley was buried next to his mother. While the autopsy performed the same day Presley died was still underway, Memphis medical examiner Jerry Francisco announced that the immediate cause of death was cardiac arrest and declared that drugs played no role in Presley's death. However, later studies have shown that drug use played a significant role in Presley's death. Lab reports have shown that multiple drugs caused his death. Forensic pathologists Cyril Wecht and Michael Baden reached complex conclusions about the cause of Presley's death, stressing that a combination of drugs and his health played a role. Although Jerry Francisco's initial medical examiner ruled that Elvis Presley's cause of death was cardiac arrest and ruled out drugs as a cause, later studies have shown that drug use played an important role in his death. French researchers and medical experts have shown that Elvis Presley had an enlarged heart for a long time, and that his drug habit caused his health deterioration and eventual death. Older brother. The use of multiple drugs, combined with Elvis' poor health, created a dangerous situation and led to his unexpected death. Lab reports have shown that there were many drugs in Elvis' system, and some of the drugs were used in an unconsidered and unsafe manner. These studies have suggested the negative impact of drug abuse on Elvis Presley's health and how drug use contributed to his death. In this complicated situation, the specific cause of Elvis Presley's death remains controversial, but it is clear that drug use and poor health played an important role in this sad event. Elvis Presley's death is not only a loss for the music industry but also a warning about the consequences of drug and tobacco abuse on each person's health and life. After Elvis Presley passed away in 1977, his legacy continued to grow and his presence in the music industry and culture continued. Even though Elvis is gone, Elvis' name is still honored and remembered in many different ways. Music career. Between 1977 and 1981, 6 singles released after Elvis' death reached the top 10 of the country music hits chart. Elvis musical products are still republished and reissued, attracting
jede Ebene ihre eigene schulische Relevanz hat. Jedoch wird man den Anforderungen des Demokratielernens erst in ihrer Verknüpfung gerecht und unter Berücksichtigung ihr eigenen Dynamiken und Besonderheiten und so differenziert wie die Entwicklungsphasen und Erfahrungshorizonte der Kinder und Jugendlichen sind, so verschieden sind die fachlichen Anforderungen der drei Demokratiebegriffe. Wichtig ist, dass Kinder spätestens mit Schuleintritt im Kleinen das große Lernen und Schule so als glaubwürdigen und nachahmenswerten Entwurf der Zusammenarbeit erleben. Und das ist nochmal in dieser Folie, denke ich, sehr schön dargestellt. Man sieht also, dass wirklich die Demokratie als Lebensform in der Schule praktiziert werden kann. Und es ist ganz wichtig, dass man keinesfalls, so wie es jetzt ist, vorhin in diesen Zitaten war das zu sehen, dass eben in vielen Bereichen das Demokratielernen erst in der Sekundarstufe, am Ende der Sekundarstufe 1 beginnt mit politischer Bildung. Das macht alles keinen Sinn, wenn nicht vorher praktiziert und bekannt ist Demokratie als Lebensform und als Gesellschaftsform. Das hängt dann lose in der Luft. Also es sollte wirklich sukzessive aufeinander aufbauen. Das ist ein ganz wesentlicher Aspekt. Das Stufenmodell verdeutlicht also, dass die klassische politische Bildung, Wissens- und Wertevermittlung und auch ein Literaturstudium, wie man das dann hat in höheren Klassenstufen, notwendig sind, aber nicht hinreichend, sondern die Demokratiebildung muss auf die Entwicklung der Handlungskompetenzen zielen. Und das schließt kompetenzorientierte Methoden wie Redewettbewerbe, Diskussionsrunden, Diskussionsregeln, Mentoring-Programme, Civic Education, Character Education Programme und natürlich auch partizipative Methoden wie Praktika, Service Learning, die verschiedenen Räte, die es gibt, Kinder- und Jugendparlament oder die verschiedenartigen Foren der Schülernbestimmung ein. Ja, genau. Vincent Steindl hat jetzt schon die nächste Folie eingeblendet. Es gibt ja so eine riesige Bandbreite an Methoden und Instrumenten. Vorhin haben wir das schon gesehen mit der Einführung, was Sie auf die Folie geschrieben hatten. Ich habe gedacht, ich mache ganz einfach mal ein Wordle, wo man ganz viele partizipative Methoden einfach erkennt und Sie finden bestimmt auch ganz viele von den Dingen wieder, die Sie in Ihrer Schule praktizieren. Wichtig ist daraus schlussfolgend, wenn man also Demokratie nicht nur als Bildungsziel, sondern auch als Handlungsziel fasst, dann heißt es, dass es ein Handlungsfeld ist, was Bildung und Aktion einschließt. Kritisch ist hier anzumerken, dass es zum Beispiel in Deutschland noch keinen einzigen Studiengang gibt, der auf dieses Arbeitsfeld abzielt. Für mich ganz wichtig ist, und das habe ich wirklich aus der Praxis in der Schule gemerkt,